everybody, and welcome to this week's Cruise Chat. I'm Kathleen Penner, owner of Plenty of Sunshine Travel, and today I'm joined by Lori, and Lori is from Holland America. And while I have met with Lori numerous times, and I love meeting with you, Lori, this is the first time we're going to be learning about Holland America. So I'm excited to do that, and I'm just going to turn it over to you, and I am looking forward to learning along with everybody else who's watching. So thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. It's always a great pleasure to be here, be with you, and spend some time talking about my passion, Holland America line. So this is, as you say, it's a brand that we haven't had much discussion about. So I have actually been with Holland America line now for 22 years. So I spent a great deal of my early career. I used to take groups on board Holland America. So that was how I got to know the brand very intimately, and it really has become a part of who I am. And it's just a brand that is totally in my heart. So I'm very thrilled to be presenting to you today and to talk about all that I love about this brand and how you can share it with some of your audience. Because I know there's a lot of mystery about Holland America. But I first want to really, share our gratitude at Holland America because, over the last couple of years, we've had a lot of challenges in the industry in general and in life. And one of the things that we are very, very appreciative of is our support with our trade partners, and Kathleen is one of them. So she takes a great deal of time to know our brands and represent them very well. So for that, I'm very appreciative. And today, I thank you for your time because this is a lot to know, and I have a lot to unpack. So I want to talk today about what makes us unique in the industry, because it is a different brand. If you have not sailed with us before or learned about us, there's a lot of things that we do that are very unique in the industry. And some exciting itineraries, some of my favorite itineraries, some of them that I have taken the time to do myself, and some that I still have on my radar because they're on my bucket list. And I hope you guys all have a bucket list. So as I go through the presentation, I'm going to talk about some of those unique destinations and what we do in destination immersion. So you can start maybe planning a bucket list if you don't have one already, and think about all of the great places that you can go.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So I love this picture, and I show it in most of my presentations because it was the very last cruise that I took last August, pardon me, and it was up to the Arctic Circle, and it was on my bucket list. So it's after pandemic, and certainly as we re-enter into cruising again, I think it's been very I would say telling what we have seen in the industry as far as demand for unique itineraries. So if you've ever had a desire to go up to the Arctic, I would highly recommend it. This is as close as I would like to get to a polar bear. I was in the pub one day up on the coast of Norway and ran into this fine specimen and had a beer with a big polar bear. So it was absolutely fantastic. But I want to talk about some of these destinations today and some of, great ways that you can get better value in what we call wave season of the cruise industry, which is right now. So we are full steam ahead with booking. I'm sure you are crazy busy.
Very, very busy right now. Yeah, it's incredible. I think Canadians need the cold to sort of think ahead, and these wave offers are just something that you can't resist. And for those of you who don't know, you're subscribers to my channel, but you don't realize what a wave offer is in the cruise industry because it's ocean centric, right? We have different offers that are called just wave offers, and they just keep rolling in. And it's usually, beginning of the year, I'd say up until end of March or so. That's kind of the best deals that you're going to get throughout the year. So now is the time to book. And a lot of cruise lines, including Holland, are open till, 2023, even 2024, sometimes 2025, depending on when they open it. But by all means, book ahead and get the best value you can get at the beginning.
Absolutely. And that is, thank you for clarifying that, because I just automatically speak in cruise terms, but the wave offers are by far the richest value for you. So if you are thinking of making a reservation or, dreaming of a destination, now is the time to take action. So one of the things about Holland America line that makes us so unique is our history and the legacy that we bring to the business. So this is actually our 150-year anniversary in 2023.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a huge milestone for any company, but
Mhm.
specifically for a brand like ours that has had such a contribution in the marine side of history. To the left here, I have a picture of the original Rotterdam, and she sailed from Rotterdam to North America, bringing people from the old world to the new.
Wow.
So this was a picture of her crossing the North Atlantic in the fall, which was typically a very stormy time, with 900 very, very lucky souls crossing the North Atlantic. On a ship that was probably about the size of a large schooner. So she was about, this ship here was just over 3,000 gross tons.
Isn't that?
So in ship terminology, we fast forward to 2021,
Mhm.
when I have here a picture of our 7th Rotterdam in our fleet. And this particular vessel is 99,000 gross tons. So that gives you
That's
some
quite
context of
yeah.
size.
Yeah, wow. I'd rather be on the newer Rotterdam, to be
Yeah,
honest.
so pick your poison. Where would you rather be?
Right. Oh goodness. Wow.
Oh,
I
so
honestly thought you put them just to say this is the old and this is the new, but that's actually from the same Holland America company. That's fascinating.
it
Wow.
is.
Amazing.
We were originally launched in Rotterdam in Europe, and we were called the North American Steamship Company. So this brand was literally created so we could bring people from Europe, from the old world into the new. So that was part and really the beginning of what we did. We used to bring cargo and passengers over to North America. So if you have ever had the opportunity to go to Halifax or New York,
Mhm.
and to Ellis Island and to Pier 21 in Halifax, you will see the history of Holland America Line guests that have arrived from Europe to those ports of call to begin their new lives. So whenever I go there, it just gives me chills to see all of literally the millions of people we have brought to
Mhm.
start their new lives. So that is how we began. So
Mhm.
we carry this part of our history with us on every single ship, every vessel, and every sailing. And it really is a part of our strategy because it's our brand. It's
Yeah.
the history behind us.
Mhm.
So we will always have a flagship Rotterdam in our fleet. So this is the 7th Rotterdam that we launched in 2021.
Wow.
And funnily enough, when we did launch her at that time, this was right in the middle of COVID, she was launched with no guests on board. So she spent the first few months of her life sailing around looking for guests
Oh goodness.
until we were able
Wow.
to welcome people back on board. So this ship has had quite the journey on her own already.
Mhm.
And this is, like I said, the flagship of our fleet. So we are thrilled to have this as our 3rd pinnacle class vessel. And this is the introduction to the balance of our fleet. So across the top are the pinnacle class sister ships of the Rotterdam,
Yeah.
the New Statendam and the Koningsdam.
Mhm.
So we refer to our fleet as our down ships, as we lovingly call them. All of our ships are named after waterways or rivers or passages of water in Amsterdam.
Okay.
So that gives you also some context of the names of our
Mhm.
ships, because sometimes they're a little bit challenging to get your tongue around them,
Yeah.
but they're always very historical and very legendary, but they are also very consistent in the look of the ships, the style of the ships, very much ocean going, very similar structure,
Mhm.
always with a very dark blue hull and the white top. So this is really a brand that is very recognizable
Mhm.
as we're sailing. So they all inside are also very, very consistent. So that is part of the premium way that we deliver the service, and the style of Holland America is by our very lovingly known dam ships. So
Yeah, yeah, and I like that they're consistent on the inside because sometimes every time you, well, not sometimes, but when you're going on new ships and you're seeing new itineraries, it takes you a couple days to get used to where things are. And you just feel like, oh, okay, I can figure this out. Oh, look, it's day 6. I'm done tomorrow. So it's like, ah. So I love that they're all very similar in terms of the layout, and that's super because it just helps you orientating yourself and to get used to it.
it truly does. So there are some signature rooms that we have that are the same on every ship, the Crow's Nest Lounge, the Rotterdam Dining Room. So those are very, very consistent. and the atrium, they're all very, very similar. So you are exactly right. When you get on board the Volendam or the New Statendam, you're not lost. You don't have to spend a lot of time getting to know other than just the sheer size.
Right.
So at the very bottom there in the right-hand corner are the Zaandam and the Volendam, which are the smallest ships that we have in our fleet. Those are just over 1,400 guests, opposed to the Pinnacle class, which are over 26, like just under 2,600 guests. So we are known industry-wide as a mid-size cruise line. So we will never have ships larger that host 2,600 guests. So that's as big as we will get. The Zaandam and the Volendam, because they are a little bit smaller, these ships allow us to get into some very iconic ports of call, and they will be on a lot of our exotic itineraries. So the ships across the middle line there, the Amsterdam, Eurodam, Noordam, and Westerdam, these ships are just over about 1,800 guests. So again, these ships are mid-size, and especially in the industry nowadays, when there are the mega ships of 4,000, 5,000, and 6,000 guest ships, it really gives us a different way on board to deliver service when you don't have as many guests.
Right.
So yeah, it also allows us, when we arrive in ports, not to invade a port, but to just arrive and let our guests off without very long lineups. And it just gives us a lot more freedom to where we can sail and where we can dock.
Absolutely.
So with that in mind, giving you also some context of where we sail, because we have been in business for so long, we are literally a very international cruise line. So we sail all over the world to every single ocean. And because of the structure of the post-COVID environment, we have actually introduced a lot of what we call home port or North American departures, because we recognize that air travel is not always as fun as it could be or as accessible as it should be right now. So we have introduced a lot of our itineraries and a lot of our programming, so you don't have to fly internationally. We have a lot of departures from North American ports of call, Fort Lauderdale, San Diego, Boston, Vancouver. So it just eliminates those long haul 20-hour flights or, very expensive destinations to get to. So you're going to see this in a lot of our programming for 2023, 24, and 25. This has really been, I think, a great appeal to get people back to cruising.
Yeah.
So I'm going to focus a lot of that today on some of these itineraries. But as I mentioned, the brand really is focused on exploring the world and destination immersion. Culinary side, Holland America is known, again, industry-wide throughout the travel industry for our exceptional culinary presentations and also for live music. You cannot talk about Holland America without talking about our live music. We really offer the best selection of live music in the industry.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it truly is. So it's really a great dimension.
It really keeps your energy up as well. In the evening you go and you listen to those live bands and it's wonderful.
It really is. It's fun. There's something for everybody. And when I was on the Koningsdam, I was on actually a few times last year. So I took some photos just of the onboard, some of the features and some of the locations that I particularly love. One of them is our small, intimate lounges that we have. One of my favorites is up at the very top left here, it's Notes Whiskey Tasting Bar. So if you are a lover of single malts and fine whiskeys, this is a place where you want to come in the evening, maybe before dinner, and have a little cocktail. We have some great people on board that talk about whiskey and the history of whiskey, and is really a fun place just to learn about the product, but also do some really unique tastings. We also have our fabulous cabana area, which overlooks our midship pool. So you can actually rent these cabanas and you can spend it in the hot tub. If you're on your honeymoon, or if you just want a little bit of privacy or a little bit covered area away from the sun all day, you can rent these cabanas before you sail. And this is your private space through the whole cruise. Or you can rent it just for a day if you want.
Right.
This is a unique feature that we have on board the ships, and I love it. I think it's a great way to enjoy poolside without maybe, you know, all the crowds around the pool.
Right. Yes,
Having
absolutely.
said that, yeah. So in the bottom photo here,
Mm.
this is nighttime around our beautiful midship pool. So you can see um, there's a lot of space, you know, between the chairs, but there's also this upper level of beautiful round leather lounge chairs. So it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous poolside. So there's hot tubs here. There's our pizza area, our dive-in burger area. So this is just really the heart of the ship during the day. But what is most unique, I love about every one of the pools on all of our ships is the glass dome. So this area here, if it's raining and you're sitting out in your lounge chair, we just close the glass dome and you still feel like you're sitting outside, but you're not getting wet. So it's a really nice, yeah, it's a really exotic pool area. I love it. It's very relaxing, but it's really fun because nighttime we have our movies under the stars. So rain or shine, whatever, you can still watch a movie outside. It's absolutely fantastic.
I love that because then it's your own little climate controlled area. And
Completely.
you know, it doesn't matter what it's, you know, it could be storming, it could be so incredibly humid and hot outside, yet you're kind of trapped in there with a nice air conditioning. Or it could be just a gorgeous night with a light ocean breeze and then you've got it open. So that's
And sit
perfect.
outside and watch a movie. It's spectacular. So, and then we also have our indoor music walk area. So for those of you that have not sailed with us, since the introduction of the music walk, and we started introducing this in our fleet in 2014 to 2016. So we adapted all of our ships to have on one level, which is usually level 2 or 3, depending on which ship you are on,
Yes.
a whole floor dedicated to entertainment.
Oh,
So we have our BB King Music Club area. We have Lincoln Center Stage, which is our classical chamber music. We have Rolling Stone Rock Room. We have our dueling piano bar. So whatever genre you are, you know, interested in, you don't need a ticket. You can just walk down the whole floor and you can do every venue, or you can just do one, whatever your heart desires, whatever kind of dancing you want to do. It's all here for you. So literally you walk out of the main dining room after your beautiful dinner and you can walk down Music Walk and view all of these musical venues on one floor.
yeah.
So
And that's one of the things I love about cruising is because you have like dinner and a movie, you have all these special activities that, you know, if you were to combine them on land, it would cost you a small fortune, and yet it's all included in your fare. And I
it's
love
all,
that. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. And because there's such a selection and variety here, it just makes you feel like you've done 2 or 3 different things in one night.
Yeah.
So, you know, that is just really, really fun.
Yeah.
So this gives you an idea here, and a lot of people, you know, maybe people that have been used to traditional cruising where we have the big shows every single night, we still have that. So
Mhm.
this is a picture of our show lounge here at the bottom left. So what's lovely about these show lounges is this gorgeous screen across the back. It's 270 degrees. It's an LED screen, so it's just added a really different technical dimension to our
Mhm.
shows. This is where we have, again, every night, different style of shows, whether it's musical entertainment, dancers. We also have comedians, we have conversationalists. So it's just a beautiful venue
Yeah.
for, you know, again, 2 shows every single night. So you don't miss anything. So you can
Mhm.
do music and a show and your dinner. So, I
Wow.
mean,
Even better value, right?
absolutely. But
Goodness.
it's just fun every night. There's just something different going on all the time. And it's really added, as you say, a different dimension, but just a variety for every single person. And then, of course, we have our fabulous spa and gym facilities.
Mhm.
And this is a picture of early morning when there is nobody there yet. So before the machines get all taken up. But typically, this gym is attached to our spa. So if you want to have a massage and a workout, you can do all of that. We have a beautiful spa facility. We also have hydrotherapy pools. We have every class known to mankind. We have spin classes, as well as yoga around the pool. Lots of different things, again, for every ability and interest. So it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
My
one,
husband always says with the gym, I'm sorry to interrupt. My husband always says with the gym, the longer he spends on there, the more he can eat and he feels okay about it. So it's really nice that you have a full gym too.
absolutely. And typically, sadly, there's usually not a lot of people in the gym.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So one of my absolute favorite places to go is to the library. And this is also a new feature. And these libraries, this is a picture of the libraries on the Pinnacle class. So on our newest ships, we have introduced a kind of looks like a chapters bookstore to me, but all of these are brand new books and it's an honor system. You literally go down to our library. You can take one of these beautiful hardback books and go back to your room and read it. All that we ask is that you return them. Sometimes people do, sometimes they don't, but we have lots of copies of every new release book. This is also conveniently located right by the coffee bar, so you can have a latte and sit and relax. It's really, really nice.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, there's a kid section, there's science fiction, there's absolutely every genre again. So it's really a lovely facility. So if you're a reader and if you have those lovely days at sea on those nice long itineraries, highly recommend. This is a place where you want to go.
And I'm an avid reader. So when we're up at the cottage, I read pretty much, a book a day kind of thing.
Oh my gosh.
I'm a fast reader, but I love reading. So I'm looking at that going, I would love to spend some time just wandering and seeing what you have in there.
Absolutely. And that's part of the whole onboard experience. So these days, a lot of different cruise lines have different activities. Our focus is really on fine dining. It's about bringing you to the destination in a nice environment that is more like a European hotel. There's quiet spaces. There's lots of places to walk. There's beautiful music all of the time, all day. It's just really a different experience. It's not in your face.
Right.
It's not neon. It's not rock climbing walls and roller skating. And it's just not that experience.
Right.
So it is more, I would say, traditional cruising in the experience of fine dining and a different atmosphere. It is very understated elegance, and I have loved it since I was 20 years old and I took my very first Holland America line sailing. And it is not for people looking for that, as I say, roller skating, rock climbing environment.
High energy kind of thing. You like just the relaxation and the meandering, and you come as you want and you leave and you move on to the next venue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, there's what I do love about cruising, and I know this, Kathleen, is there's a brand for every single person.
Yes.
And, there's always something that appeals, but for us, if you are a foodie, our culinary expertise is something that I always speak to because I love to eat and I love to, enjoy food when I'm away. Because I don't get a chance to cook all the time. So it's wonderful when other people can cook these amazing meals for you. So one of the things that we actually were one of the very first in the industry to introduce alternative dining. So we have different options for people. So, we have our regular dining room, spectacular. And we have assigned dining. So if you like to have the same table at the same time for your dinner every night, you have that option. Or you can have as you wish dining, which means you can go down to the dining room anytime, whatever works for you, and dine with whomever, whatever time is more convenient. So it's really lovely. And then we have also introduced the alternative dining. So we have several choices. We have our Rudy's Seldom, which is our French bistro. And this is actually introduced by our master chef, Rudy Soderman, and he is an absolutely brilliant master chef. And there's not a lot of master chefs in the world, but this gentleman, along with 6 international chefs, design our menus every single day. So that is what gives us a huge leg up in our culinary side compared to other brands. So we have our Canaletto Italian Bistro. We have Tamarind, which is our Pan-Asian fusion and probably one of my favorite places. And we have our world famous Pinnacle Grill. So the Pinnacle Grill was launched to our brand, oh gosh, I would say late 1990s actually. And this is our alternate dining steakhouse. Spectacular, spectacular dining. And it is truly fine dining at its best. Again, white tablecloth service. It's really a special place for dining. So these are all optional. These are paid for venues, these specific ones, but they're very, very reasonable. Anywhere from a $20 lunch to a $39 dinner fee. So it's quite reasonable to have this level of culinary for a very, very reasonable fee.
Yes, and you would pay far more than that on land, so
Far
it's
more, far
absolutely
more.
worth it.
Yes, and just the service, and it's just I mean, these are options for you. So what I love to do, you know, if you're celebrating a special anniversary or, you know, maybe traveling with some family or friends, it's so nice to have this option. So
Yes, absolutely.
it's just another feature that we offer. So to the left here is our main dining room. So this is really spectacular. We have a very, very wonderful wine cellar. So if you are a lover of fine wine, we also still have sommeliers on board so they can guide you in wine choices to pair with your dinner. Also, again, white tablecloth, we still have hand polished silver on china, and we still have crystal glasses. So it is not cutlery, it is really fine dining. So it's not for everybody, but if it's for you, I tell you, it's an experience not to be missed.
Absolutely.
So I want to talk a little bit about where you're going to be sleeping and enjoying some time on board. So this is really the look of Holland America line in terms of colors on board. All of our ships have been undergoing dry dock where we have been changing the color palette. So these are, when the Rotterdam was launched, Pinnacle class ship, this was the color palette. So we have really changed all of our ships. You know, some of them have been around in the water for 10, 12 years, which were a different color scheme. So we've changed them to more of this color, which is really bright, very fresh look. I love this palette here. I think it's very, very welcoming, and I just like the brightness. So this is actually a picture of one of our Neptune suites, which is our concierge level. These suites here are king size beds with full, huge balconies. They have a dining table on board so you can eat out on your balcony, course by course, if you wish. These particular suites have lots of bells and whistles that the others, you know, regular staterooms do not have. So I'll talk a little bit about that. But this is a picture of our regular staterooms, the outside and the veranda suites. Again, very spacious. Our Mariner dream beds, Egyptian cotton linens, very, very comfortable. Lots of storage space, you know, the nice makeup mirrors. So they're really very, very comfortable. I cannot speak enough about them. They're, you know, you get your service, you get morning service and nightly turn down service. So of course there's somebody there to manage your stateroom. You have a team of stewards that will introduce themselves as you arrive and get to know your likes and dislikes and how you like your room set up. So it's really that extra luxury that we offer on board.
And like you said, the colors, they're just very, I think they're more like soothing and relaxation of colors with some nice brightness in there too.
Yeah,
it's really nice. Yeah.
So, you know, as we are coming back into service, the ships are being taken out all into dry dock. So they're all undergoing this change. So most of the ships are done now, but not all of them. So it will be happening though.
Yeah.
So this is another view of our Neptune suite. So the Neptune suites, as I said, give you a few more bells and whistles. You get complimentary laundering and pressing. You also have access to our Neptune lounge, which is a beautiful area. And that's in the upper corner here. The Neptune lounge, there's somebody there 24/7. So you never have to go down to the front desk. This is somebody there to book dining for you, maybe book a shore excursion, reconfirm your flights. It's just that concierge service that is really an extra addition. You also have a stocked bar. You get invited to the captain's cocktail party. So there's just a few extra things that are really, really nice. But one of my favorite things is a special dining area called Club Orange. So this is a special dining room that is only available for our Neptune and Penthouse suite guests. So this is just a really exclusive dining area. It's really, really nice. Separate kitchen, separate wine list. It's really a different feature. So you can have breakfast, lunch, or dinner at Club Orange. It's really a nice exclusive area. So it's really at that concierge level. If you're looking for that extra touch of luxury, look at the Neptune Suites. They're spectacular.
Awesome.
So I mentioned music, live music, and this is a picture of our BB King Blues Club. So this has been something that we introduced back in 2016, was the addition of BB Kings to our brand. So along with Rolling Stone Rock Room, this is live music every single night. And I guarantee you, if you have not sailed with us before, this is, you cannot sit down walking by. You have to come in and have a dance or have a listen. This is rhythm and blues music and Motown. It's just awesome. I just can't say enough about it. These guys rock every single night till about 1 o'clock in the morning. So if you, a music lover, this and Rolling Stone Rock Room is really amazing music. So, this has really been a great addition. And as you mentioned before, just that great energy and just fun every single night. So this doesn't cost you anything. You just can walk by and slide in and have a dance or have a listen, whatever works for you.
Nice.
So I want to talk about some destinations now. I know this is a lot of information, but one of our top destinations and one we are just getting ready to launch for the season, because we start as early as late April in the Alaskan waters. So this is a great destination. One of the reasons for Holland America, this is a key product line for us. We have been sailing here longer than any other cruise line. We just celebrated 75 years in the Alaskan waters. So this is a destination that we can showcase like no other brand. And I guarantee you, with our longevity here and the history and the connections that we have in Alaska, this is your best choice if Alaska is your destination this summer. So
and it should be, because I spent 2 weeks up there last year, and I told you I could have spent another 2 at least. I loved Alaska. I keep dreaming of going back. You know, I'd go in a heartbeat if it something came up. It's, you know, even though I've already spent time there, there's so much more to see and do always.
There is always something more to see and do. I have been to Alaska and the Yukon many, many times. I have been so privileged, and every time I go, I learn something new and I see something different, and it renews my love of this destination every time I go. And I have talked to thousands of people over these years, and some of them are very, Alaska, why would I want to go there? We see enough snow throughout the year. And I have never, ever heard of anybody coming back from Alaska saying, I'm sorry that I went there. Not once, not once. So this is a destination that really gets under your skin. It's a destination, as I said, because of the way that we showcase this, we do a lot of exclusive things in Alaska. One of them is our visits to a place called Glacier Bay. So we have more permits to enter Glacier Bay than any other cruise line because of our longevity here, and also because our ships are green and sustainable.
Yeah, that's very important.
Yeah, it's hugely important. This is a very eco-sensitive waterway. Very few ships can actually come here. So the way that we showcase Glacier Bay, this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is a national park. We have park rangers that come on board and talk to you about this destination and why it is so important. And the marine life here that don't exist anywhere else in the world because of the glaciers. So if you have a desire to get educated about where you cruise, this is a destination where we shine. So we are also the only cruise line that can take your guests into the Yukon territory. So we combine the marine side of the Inside Passage with the ability to take your clients on the White Pass Rail up into the Yukon for that gold rush history opportunity. I tell you, this is the most fun that you will ever have. Dawson City and Whitehorse, UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and it feels like gold was just discovered there yesterday. They keep it alive and very much a part of the experience. It's spectacular. And if you are a lover of wilderness, which most Canadians are, there's not a lot of actual wilderness left in the world.
Yeah.
A lot of it exists in the Yukon. So the stillness and the peace that is there is worth going just for that, in my opinion.
Yes. And the absolute clean, pure air is just, you
Pure
can't describe it, you have to do it.
You have to do it. And the excursions and the opportunities for flight seeing, for gold panning, for dog sledding. There's so much to do, from mild to wild, depending on your abilities and what you're into. I tell you, this is a destination for every single person. Alaska used to have a reputation as being a rather sedentary destination where people would go and sit and view. The Yukon and Alaska, up in Denali National Park, this is getting up there and getting out there. You are really having, I'm telling you, the experience of a lifetime. And you need to be in a little bit of mental and physical shape to appreciate and to get out there and do some of these really, really awesome things. So we have a huge list of things that you can do. And I'm showing you this itinerary because this is a one-off that we are doing. This is next summer, so summer of 2024. So you early planners, we love you. It's a summer solstice, June the 9th, 28-day Arctic Circle from Seattle. We've never done this before. No other cruise line is doing this. So if you want to do something unique and really, really awesome, take a look at this itinerary. Again, it's a one-time. I don't know that we'll do it again, but people are really, really interested in it.
Oh,
so
absolutely. And I'm glad you pointed that out. So many of them stop in Seward and Anchorage, and that's it. And look at this one, continues on and around, and oh, I'm gonna have to check that one out. And if you guys have a lot of interest in that, anybody who's watching this, reach out to me, info@sunshinetravel.com, and I will try to get group space, and perhaps we can all go together. Who knows? That would be fabulous.
No, I tell you, Kathleen, this is like I say, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I'm mentioning it now because it is a year away, but people are already really, really keen on this.
And I see why.
You're wise to, if you are even interested remotely, you should make it. And I'll tell you a little bit more, some value add to help, really make this appeal even more so. But, this is really a unique opportunity.
I love it.
So we also have on board a program that is unique in the industry called Alaska Up Close. So we try and bring the destination on board in terms of our culinary side. And again, the opportunities for you, we actually bring some dogs and we bring some eagles on board, and we have talks around the pool. We also have some excursions, the whale watching, the flight seeing, that nobody else offers. Because we have been here so long, we have some unique relationships with some of the contractors that live in Alaska. We also employ a lot of these people, so they're not all contractors, they're actually employees of Holland America, which can really make a difference when you're in these seasonal destinations. We will have, out of our ship, we have 11 ships in our fleet, we will have 6 in the Alaskan waters. So we have over 50% of our fleet in destination. So that tells you our commitment here. So what is super, super important is to always ask yourself, if you are interested in Alaska, why you want to go, what you think you're going to see. A lot of people haven't thought about wildlife. But if you are interested in the big 5, which are these people right here, these are the big 5, and they don't come down to the pier to meet the ship.
They do not.
Get off of the ship and go up north. So you need to go up into Denali, you need to go into the Yukon, so you can see these animals in their national habitat. I have seen all of these on my various trips up to Alaska and the Yukon many, many times. There is a multitude of wildlife opportunity viewing, and this to me is always a very mystical experience to see these in their natural habitat. I love it. And of course, when you're cruising, you will have the opportunity to see what we call the Ocean 5, sea otters. And if you ever see whale tails or breached whale, again, a very mystical, very honorable experience to see marine wildlife in their natural habitat. It's absolutely spectacular. So if you are a salmon fisher, I have done salmon fishing expeditions. Oh my gosh, it is so much fun. You can actually catch a salmon and they will prepare it for you and can it for you and ship it back home.
Oh,
So I have, wow, it's so cool. So I have had Christmas dinner and had salmon that I caught in the summertime served, for appetizers at Christmas dinner.
I thought you were going to say that they'd prepare it and cook it for you for the dining room, but that's even better. You get to take part
Yeah,
of
they will do
Wow.
that for you too, but you can have it canned and shipped back to your house. So it's really, yeah, like as a gift, as a Christmas gift, people just like go crazy for it. And it's also really, really, really tasty.
Yeah. And that's a memory. And that's, that's one of the reasons I love vacationing. I love cruising, because you create those memories of places and then you bring them back home to share with all your family and friends. And you can't go wrong with memories. It's something that's so important.
It's all about that, and that is a great segue, because this destination specifically is for everybody. It's a super multi-generation destination. So if you're traveling with your family, with grandparents, with grandchildren, there is something for everybody here, every ability, every taste. It's just open for everybody. So I highly encourage you to take a look at Alaska. If you haven't even considered it, you really should go there. So if you cannot tell, it's my favorite place. I mentioned going up north. So when you get off of the ship in Anchorage, we're going to put you on a fantastic glass dome train, and we're going to take you here to Denali National Park, where you can have up to 3 days to sit around and view the mountains, the wildlife, the peace that is here. So you want to experience this with your family, sitting around a fire circle at night. If you're here in June and July, you can be sitting here in the broad daylight at 11 o'clock at night. Awesome.
That's fabulous. Yeah, you can't beat that. It's incredible.
You just can't do this everywhere. And I just think it's a destination, again, that is, it just offers something for every single person. So.
Yeah, and that domed train is phenomenal. Oh my goodness. That was the best way to get from Anchorage over to Seward or vice versa, because it was just, oh my goodness. And I love that the train stopped and the person there stopped and told you about the area and said, look over here and see this and that, and look, there's wildlife, and it's amazing. It was just the best way to travel.
I mean, it is truly a scenic rail experience. So it's about a 6.5 to 7 hour trip from the port to take you up to Denali. And it is like the best train day. It's meals, beautiful meals, service. And again, like you say, because it's not, it's a track that we have. So there's not another train coming the other way. It's just us on the track. So if we want to stop and see a herd of caribou, we can do that. And we do.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's awesome. It adds to the whole experience, and then what we do once we get up to Denali, we take you off of the train and take you to our beautiful McKinley Lodge, which is here.
Oh, it's stunning.
It's stunning.
And it fits within the area. The architecture just works so well for that area. It's beautiful.
Yes,
it is. The natural woods, and I like it.
It's wonderful. And at night we have musical entertainment, and these cabins that you're in are right along the banks of the Nenana River. You can sit out on your balcony at night and just listen to the wildlife. It's just a magical place.
Absolutely.
So come join us.
Yes.
So we're going to go to the other side of the country now, Canada and England. So again, if you haven't thought about where you want to go this summer, look at our itineraries out of Montreal and out of Boston. But this specific one I love because it's a 24-day round trip Boston, and it goes circumnav of Iceland with a stop in Greenland. So, I mean, really interesting itinerary. You're also going to get circumnav of Newfoundland, and we do 3 stops to UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Newfoundland. I mean, just a great opportunity to experience some amazing destinations in the middle of the summertime.
That's gorgeous.
Yes.
Exciting.
So, hopping across the pond, we want to go to our Europe. And I say it's our Europe because we were born here. And you know what it's like when you go to a destination with a friend and they know all the insider tips. That's what it's like going with Holland America Line to Europe. This is a friend taking you here
Perfect.
because
Yeah.
this is our backyard.
Mhm.
We know every destination intimately. We have been here for so long. So we have longer time in port, which is huge,
Mhm.
especially in Europe when some of the cities are not necessarily right at the port.
Right.
When you are looking at European itineraries, that's something that you really need to take into consideration.
Mhm.
So we have an amazing, I would say, compilation of Northern Europe itineraries. And sadly, we have had to remove the Russian component from our itineraries, and
Mhm.
hopefully we'll be able to go back there at some point in time.
Yeah, who
It's
knows?
very, very sad that we're not there and what's happening in the world right now, but we have redesigned and redeployed to spend a lot of time in Norwegian or the Norwegian coastline, Sweden and Finland.
Mhm.
Some fantastic, fantastic
Yeah.
itineraries. So if you are interested in this part of the world, like I said, I was here last summer and spent a great deal of time here,
Mhm.
and I cannot say enough about it. I was thrilled to be there. And if you have not thought about doing a transatlantic crossing, this is maybe something that you may want to consider.
Mhm.
If you don't want to fly, you can maybe do a crossing one way and fly back.
Right.
But a lot of people that I have spoken to over the years and have said, oh, what am I going to do? A lot of sea days. This is like the best thing you'll ever do because the sea days are the best part.
Yeah,
So,
because the
and
ship is the destination on a lot of the times, and there's so many things to see and do, and you just don't get time because you're always out enjoying nature, enjoying what you're
yeah,
there for, but yet you've got this great environment to explore as well. So this is a good way to do it.
it really is. And one of the unique features on board every one of the Holland America Line ships is our wraparound teak promenade deck.
Mhm.
So this is a blast from the cruising past. And if you have ever had the opportunity to sit in a teak deck chair with a blanket over top of you and watch the world sail by, this is what you're going to do on Home America. And it may not appeal to everybody, but I'm telling you, it is probably one of the best things that I've ever done at sea is just sit
Mhm.
and relax and look at the sea. It's really, again, another magical experience that you can have
Yeah.
on holiday.
And I mean,
So
if you have one of those jobs where you're always on the go and you're always working so hard, this in itself is just sitting and enjoying nature and watching the world go by. Perfect, because
it,
you're forced to, relax and unwind, and you don't realize how
absolutely,
much you need it until you do it. Yeah.
it is so true. And that promenade deck, what a magical way to start the day is to do, if you do 4 times around, that's a mile. It's a great exercise. And just to have the sea air, oh my gosh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So we do what we call the voyage of the Vikings.
Mm.
So again, something unique for us. We
Yeah.
do this in the middle of the summertime.
Okay.
So if you have a desire to do a transatlantic crossing, but don't want to do it in the spring or fall when weather can be, Mother Nature is having her free hand. So this gives you the opportunity to sail in the middle of the summertime so you can have a beautiful veranda stateroom and have some gorgeous weather crossing. It's fantastic. So we do a round trip Boston, excuse me, on a 35-day round trip, or as I had suggested, you can do one way from Boston over to Rotterdam,
Mhm.
maybe do your European tour or you're visiting and then fly home. There's just different options for you, but this is an itinerary that we do once a year, once in the summertime, every year, sells out always because it's such a cool thing to
Yeah.
have the option in the middle of the summertime.
Mhm.
So, for you teachers out there that have only the summertime to enjoy your vacation, maybe this is something that you haven't thought about.
Yeah.
And this is the itinerary that we did last year.
Yes.
And this is myself and my hubby, and we're all suited up to go on a Zodiac tour.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, this was the most fun adventure. We just did so many really, really exciting things. And this was something that I didn't think that I'd be doing, hopping from a Zodiac into a kayak in the middle
Mhm.
of the Arctic Ocean. And there I was
Oh,
doing,
wow.
yeah,
Incredible. And you did
it was,
it. So yeah. That's great.
It was great. But they give you all of the gear. You're, safe as can be. Off we went. It was just absolutely spectacular. So I know maybe many of you have been to Norway. If you haven't, if you have seen this pulpit rock, this was actually in the Mission Impossible. Remember Tom Cruise launching himself off that rock?
Okay.
And if you ever go and have this opportunity to take this excursion to walk up to Pulpit Rock, it is a very exhilarating excursion. It's a couple of hours walk up to the top of Pulpit Rock, but this is what you get when you arrive there. This view for miles of this fjord that will take your breath away, and it was probably the most amazing experience. You can sit on the edge of this rock, and I'm telling you, there's no ropes you can see. There's nothing.
Wow. I think that's great that they trust the people, and it's great that you can just sit there and relax. So yeah.
Truly, I mean, it was scary. When you come back, it's quite terrifying actually, but exhilarating at the same time. So something I will never, ever forget.
Yes.
So let's, in this very chilly day today, dash down to southern waters, warmer waters. So our Caribbean itinerary, so we are only in the Caribbean waters for a very short time from November, and we are literally, getting the ships geared to leave the Caribbean early April. So we have a very short winter season down here, but we have a great experience awaiting you. We do between 5 and 7 day itineraries, but we also have 21-day itineraries. So if you want to combine 7 days, so you want a really wonderful Caribbean experience without duplicating ports of call, you can do that very easily.
It's a great thing. Yeah.
Yes. And one of the things that we have is our jewel in the Caribbean is our private island, Half Moon Cay. So this is 2,400 acres, a full private island dedicated to sun and fun and quiet relaxation. You can rent a cabana, you can do horseback riding in the ocean, which is a truly unique experience. You can sit in the deck chair, you can sit in the lawn chair, you can go swimming with the stingrays.
Infinite
yoga on the beach.
Wow.
The sand here is like nowhere else I've ever been. I don't know where it's really wonderful. It's an island that we lease from the Bahamian government.
Okay.
And, it's part of the Exuma Islands. So the beach here is spectacular, but it's only us. We have one ship in at a time. There's nobody else here.
Oh, nice.
Drive you crazy. It's everybody's best beach day. And the water is, it is crystal clear. It's spectacular. Come and join us.
For snorkeling. That's great. Yeah.
So I mentioned a program that we are introducing to celebrate our history of 150-year anniversary. But we are launching a program called Legendary Voyages. So this is for you folks that have maybe that desire to do some longer itineraries, to spend some wonderful time exploring the world by cruise ship on voyages that are between 25 and 59 days in duration. So this was literally our shipyard in Rotterdam years and years and years ago, us building our ships to sail around the world. So we're going to reenact this experience and package a lot of new itineraries. So as I said, to have a little bit extra time, take a look at our Legendary Voyages. We just launched this last week, so this is really fresh. Kathleen, you probably have
inside track.
So it's really fun to have something new to talk about that is very unique in the industry. So some of these itineraries you've never seen before, some of them you won't see again. So this is an example of the sailings that we are offering and the ships that we're going to be sailing on. Again, one-off itineraries. We're probably not going to be doing this again, but these are starting this fall and will run into spring of 2025. So once these are gone, they're gone. So come and sail with us. They're going to be commemorative itineraries. We'll be doing a lot of special things on board to celebrate our history. So again, take a look at this if you have a little bit of extra time. Some of these itineraries, circumnavigation of Africa.
Goodness, yes.
Right? Like when I talk to people about cruising, a lot of people think of only the Caribbean.
They do, yeah.
Oh, and this is
There's a whole
not,
world out there. Yeah.
there's a whole new world and a lot of destinations that you can only get to by cruise ship.
Mhm.
So if you are considering a voyage or you have a destination in mind, take a look at some of these itineraries.
Mhm.
This is one specifically that is on my bucket list because this is a circumnav of South America because it goes into the Amazon right up to Manaus as well as Antarctica.
Isn't that
So
something?
you can do it all
Yeah.
right
And then back to Fort Lauderdale.
back to Fort Lauderdale.
Great.
So for those of you that like to winter down in Fort Lauderdale, you can maybe start your fabulous winter on board the Zondam and you'll be back in Fort Lauderdale before Christmas and, you know, spend the rest of your winter here.
Mhm.
So this is something that to me, I'm just dying to do this. So I really, this is top of my list because it really covers everything and so many different weather patterns you're going to experience. You're going to have fine wines in Chile. You're going to have the Antarctic experience. I want to sit beside a penguin. That is one of the top things on my list.
Absolutely.
And also do the Amazon. So
I was going to say it goes right to the Amazon River as well.
yeah.
That's
And
incredible.
because this ship is
Shift,
small,
right?
we can do this. So
Yeah.
this is why you want to take a look at some of the things that we can do and take you.
Mhm.
Again, look at this. So if you want to be out of here, maybe in January for spring next year, take a look at this. All you have to do is get your little self down to San Diego and you can do South Pacific all the way down to Australia, be there for their summer. I mean, look at this itinerary. Just absolutely fantastic.
Oh, incredible. And the history that you're going to see and just all the things that's there and wow.
Yes. So
I don't
we
know
do
how many
a
memory sticks I'd have to bring for that trip. That would be incredible. I take so many pictures, but that's incredible. Wow.
I mean, it's just a great opportunity. Very New Zealand intensive here. Again, we always have a focus on UNESCO World Heritage Sites, so we always try and incorporate those into our destinations too.
Mhm.
And for those of you that have a lot of time, our Grand World Voyage.
Mhm.
So this is something that we've been doing for almost 60 years at Holland America, and we never do the same itinerary twice.
Mhm.
And we always leave early January from
Mhm.
Fort Lauderdale. You can do 37,000 nautical miles, sail around the world. Look at this itinerary. I mean, this to me, absolutely spectacular, but again, something different every single year.
Yeah.
So 2025 is actually out already.
Mhm.
Again, early planners, we love you all. And we really like to give you lots of time.
Mhm.
Again, whether you're thinking about retiring or celebrating some milestone in your life, take a look at our Grand World Voyage. And if this is too much to bite off at one time, we always have segments of our Grand World Voyages. We
Mhm.
also offer incentives for you to book early in terms of shipboard credit offers and upgrades. So those are always unique to our Grand
Mhm.
Voyage products.
Perfect.
So this is, again, something that we've been doing for 60 years at Holland America.
You do it right. Mhm.
And our captain on board the Grand World Voyage handpicks the staff. This is a very, very unique experience. So you will have more pillow gifts than you can bring home in your suitcase. So a lot of opportunities to do land excursions. It's something that I aspire to do when I retire. I really want to do a Grand World Voyage.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
And to help you for your early
Mhm.
planners. So we are offering right now, as we had mentioned earlier, our wave season or the extra value add that we can give you right now until the end of March. We are doing stateroom upgrades. We are doing a 50% reduced deposit, shore excursion credits. This is just really extra value for you.
Mhm.
But for you people who have sailed with us before, you know who you are. You are our mariners, so our past passengers. So we
Mhm.
give you also additional shipboard credit if you're booking for 2024.
Great.
So for those itineraries that we mentioned that are sailing
Mhm.
for next year and 25, you're going to also get this additional shipboard credit. So we also have right now through to the end of March, our early booking bonus, which includes gratuities, gives you a beverage package, Wi-Fi, again, shore excursion credits.
Mhm.
Just really extra value to really help you, make the best of your cruising opportunities. So it's just extra value that we are trying to entice you, because there's a lot of offers out there in the marketplace right now. But with the unique experience that we can offer on board, we just enhance it by giving you this extra value. So Kathleen can walk you through all this and navigate all of the noise in the marketplace, because there's a lot coming at everybody. So, again, if you are looking for additional value, and people that don't necessarily need the extra value of, say, for example, a drink package or Wi-Fi, we have some really value pricing with our Canada Super Sale. Okay. So what we've done is we've taken the regular pricing and knocked off about 20%. This does not allow for additional value add, but it is, pretty much flat pricing for those of you that are just wanting a price only. So this is, again, some really, really good value. It's available on pretty much all of our products, Hawaii, Alaska, Europe. It's available for you. And again, Kathleen can help walk you through, and she can just also reach out to me if you need some clarification on any of this, Kathleen, because I know it's a lot.
Yeah, no, it's great. And I love that, I have that communication with you as well. So if anything were to happen to go sideways, or we need, something clarified, you're just a text away. And I love that for it. So thank you for always being there for us.
I'm here for you, and to help enhance your Holland America Line experience. Kathleen and I will do all that we can to make it the best vacation experience for you. So you are in very, very good hands with my friend Kathleen.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. And how can it not be? I mean, looking at all those itineraries and the activities on the ship, and it's unending. It's just absolutely stunning. So
it is. So I know this is an awful lot of information. So, if you need any clarity, just let me know.
Will do. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and we will see you all next week. Goodbye.
Bye. Thanks, Kathleen.
I hope you enjoyed this week's cruise chat episode. It was amazing to go over some of the neat things that Holland America has to do on board. So music central. It was really, really cool. I enjoyed learning about them. But the highlight to me was those itineraries. Oh my goodness. I can't get over that Alaska one. And it's just something they're doing for their 150th anniversary, and it's completely new, and they're not going to do it again. And I just think it's absolutely fabulous. And if you're interested in that itinerary or any of the ones that we discussed this week, please reach out to me at info@plentyofsunshinetravel.com. Also, please make sure that you're subscribed to our channel. I try to put an episode out every single week. It's at varying times. So if you get the notification, if you've signed up, then you'll know that when it's come out. Thank you so much for joining me this week. Next week, I'm meeting with Aqua Expeditions, and I cannot wait to learn about their way of cruising. It's just, I love expedition cruising, and I'm looking forward to meeting again with a new cruise line. I hope you guys have a great week. Bye, everybody.